never know what a woman is thinking. And as a man, we have a one-track mind. Please understand that whatever we think in the moment, we think in the moment. If we're watching the game, we're watching the game. If we're mowing the lawn, we're mowing along. Please do not ask me to do multiple things, and when I forget, you complain.
If you don't want to do multiple things, stay freaking single. Alright?
Women are generally...
But sometimes others approach us and say, you know, I like you. I have a crush
Women
on
are
you.
generally high maintenance, bro.
I'm here to do that.
Missy, head at it. We just continuing from our last episode where we were talking about is sex overrated, but now we're moving on to the relationship aspect. Are they useful? And I think in this era where you can just get access to anything instantly now, it's like Amazon. You just get it now and then you can return later. I don't know. What you think? I don't know. Do you think like a relationship is useful? Do you not? Macrina holding her chest already, so she in her feelings there probably. Marva, but let's see what the panel has to say. Kendall, is a relationship
You're
useful?
talking about her. I saw Spur there having flashbacks. And you were surprised when you called her because like, okay, good, I'm safe. But yeah, definitely useful. I don't think we want to be in relationship as much as we say. I don't think we focus on the right things, which are actions in a relationship, you know. And with actions, you have to wait. A lot of the time, people don't understand what empathy means. It's not coming in my shoes and thinking how you thinking. I think how I'm thinking. You need to do it the way you think I'm gonna do. That's how you're gonna understand where I'm coming from in the relationship. So yeah, I think it's useful. I think it can get somewhere with the right push as we spoke about earlier.
What about you, Spud? Do you think?
I believe they are useful, you know. Relationships, I mean, human beings were put on this earth to connect. Loneliness is a thing, depression is a thing, but relationships, I would give it like an 80-20. I still kind of think we don't really need it because, like we said in the previous podcast, I believe it's all about getting to know who the person is, getting to know what they like, what they don't like. And your point I love, which I was going to say, the fact that you need to put yourself in somebody's shoes to understand and resolve a problem. Because people always bring up problem. But what about the root of the problem? We don't talk about that a lot.
Yeah. What about you, Jazzy? What do you think?
For me, I do believe relationships are important. And it's not just a relationship with a man. It could be a relationship with a friend. It could be a family relative. Because at the end of the day, it takes two hands to clap. We always believe we could do everything on our own until something happens and we and truly need somebody to help us. So it's not only a man and a woman. It could be a relationship with your family, a relationship with your pets, a relationship with your co-workers.
Yeah.
Because it makes life easier at the end of the day. For me, there are certain things you just need to compromise and respect. You set boundaries. That's how it works.
I think that's big. That's big. Boundaries, that's big.
You set boundaries, you respect the people, and consistency as well. Because you can't respect me now and don't respect me tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or respect me in my presence and don't respect me when I'm not around. So that has a lot to do with relationship. Because like I said a while ago, it's not just a man and a woman, or a man and a man, or a woman and a woman. When you talk about relationships with family, with friends, with peers, with colleagues, you know, with people on the whole, because we all human.
One affects the other, you know.
Yeah.
If I'm guilty of it a lot because I'm a person, I wear my feelings on my sleeve. You could tell when I'm uneasy. So at work, this friend of mine was saying, Kendall, something is wrong with you. I was like, no. Kendall, something is wrong. I was like, no. She said something that I would, 100% of the time, I would laugh. Or I would giggle, or I would let her know, okay, I'm okay. But I didn't. And at the end of the day, that was the same person I came back to, and I was talking to her. Because I don't know this young woman like that, but just the fact that she knew, you're not okay. I'm not going to buy that. I'm not going to let you think I'm buying that. Mm-hmm. That little thing, that there, out of everybody at work. And yeah, I can talk to a lot of people at work, but just at that time, I said, you know what, I can talk to her. It was really nice. It was really nice.
And everything was off. Everything
Yeah.
is different. That's not the person that she knows. That's not the person that she's used to working with. And that's why I'm saying we all need somebody.
And I think that's something that I try to embrace more because, you know, when you grow up overseas and you're isolated from people for so long, when you come back, even still today, I try to do this thing where I handle everything by myself. And when you grow up in this era where men are not allowed to be emotional, you just take, and you just say, whatever, I really don't give a damn about this point. And somebody was telling me it's not okay to not care. I said, why? Because you have to. You're an emotional being. And people tell me I seem unhinged or unemotional, or I just go about my life and I disappear. I now start to realize that, you know, as a young man, when people look up to me and people want to be like me and they want to connect with me, and I just have everybody just distance, it makes me now look at reality a lot different. Because I'm gonna tell you very much, I'm not an emotional person. I can actually say this. I'm not very much emotional. I'm not going to sit there and cry. I'm not going to whimper. I'm just going to say, yeah, whatever. I'm going at my home. I don't really care, because in this world, you're bred to be taught to be how to be tough, how to take on the challenges, even from women. Like, I was never really taught how to deal with relationships. All I was taught was it's a norm for a young man like you to have relationships, and then when you try to have them and you are emotionally disconnected from the woman and you only use logic, then when you think that, yeah, this is the most logical outcome, sometimes it's not, because there's an emotional outcome. But a lot of times we're not emotionally connected to people, and then now we're wondering why is the relationship unstable. So sometimes, even if a woman is arguing with you, sometimes the best answer is to just listen and understand where she's coming from, instead of trying to put logic. Because when a woman is mad, brother, they have no such thing as logical. It's illogical, brother, because you are never going to win.
You will never win.
No matter how hard you try, you can have the right answer. Everything you're saying is right. Everything you're saying is logical. But the minute her
woman as well.
Come on, Jazz, you never done that before?
Hello, do not.
Come on, you never done that before?
It
Everybody.
depends on the woman. Let me tell you, I think it has a lot to do with maturity. In the past, I won't lie. I have done that. Like,
I
would
got a
go-
little sense of that
yes,
from her.
I would go
I just-
on and on and on, but then with age, you understand that the nagging and the going on and on, it doesn't work. Because, for instance, you living with that man and you guys have a problem, you try to deal with it, and he comes home. The first thing you're going to get on is that problem. He doesn't want to stay home. You're gonna drive him out from his household.
Thanks for
And
saying
then
that.
you're gonna sit down and wonder, like, you know,
Honestly.
what's going on? What am I doing? Why isn't he staying home? He's not staying home because there's no peace.
Wow.
And you're supposed to have peace at home. So that's why I was saying again, it comes a lot with maturity.
Guys, I think that one deserves a round
Right?
of applause, you
It
know.
has a lot
I think
to
it
do
really
with
does, you know. Yeah, man. I like that.
Not
point.
only should
I
your
agree.
home have peace, but the people in your home should also add on to your peace.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, we talk about communication, but what is communication without comprehension?
Mm-hmm.
If you cannot understand the situation because if a man comes home from work, he has long hours, especially the type
Yeah.
of job, and you immediately start nagging. That's how cheating sometimes start, because then he meets somebody who listens to him,
Somebody
who
who comforts
understands
him.
him. And I'm not condoning cheating. Please don't think I'm condoning cheating. We don't condone it. But this is some of the reasons why. Because when now, and let me tell you something, you see, when a man gets emotionally attached to a woman,
That's it.
that's it. And sometimes the reason that he gets attached is because he needs a home. Home is not the brick and mortar foundation that you build. Home is where the heart is.
You know, what that going on there? You're preaching, you know.
You understand? Like,
Yeah, you're
home is
seriously
where the
preaching.
house
Eh,
is,
eh.
because
No,
here's
but
a,
that's
it's
what
a
I'm
truth.
saying. It comes with maturity, and then you have to. For me, I've gone through it.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm able to speak on it. So that's why you want to say it's preaching. But I'm telling you, at what age? 22 or whatever. We started. My sons and I started living with everything was okay, right? But then when you listen to certain things and then you start to nag and then you start to create issues. This man is coming from work tired and he's happy. He probably will come home with flowers or he'll bring a cake to make you happy. And you don't see the flowers. You don't see the cake. You don't see that he's trying to appreciate you. All you could remember is what happened last night. Or what Chelsea said to you.
Yeah.
Or what your mom or family relative said to you about your relationship.
Sometimes Chelsea said that 6 years ago.
Yes.
But they're still
Exactly.
And
thinking
you
about it.
going on and on. For me to learn to let go. If we have dealt with a situation, it is what it is. We want our relationship to grow. We want to move from one foundation to the next. We let it go.
And one lesson, and even I have to learn about themselves. When you have a situation in your relationship, do not post it on Facebook. Do not go and tell your mother and your father, because when y'all make up now and y'all have your makeup sex and whatever and you're good and you bring him to the mother house, the mother still vexed about the shit that happened 2 years ago.
You forget to block her from
Because you forget
Your status, you know what I mean?
understand? So my brother, I tell people, and another situation is
That's
that
why I said maturity.
oh yes,
Okay? Alright? Because if you're dating
Yeah.
a little child, she's going to post on Facebook, IG, WhatsApp. The whole world will know you have an issue in your relationship.
Sometimes everybody in the
Right?
world but you, boy. They're blocking you alone from seeing the status.
exactly, and I
And you
tell-
will learn how people know your business.
exactly, and the
But
thing
then
about that
again,
is
I
too.
won't lie, I'm guilty of it. If we're going through something, and probably I don't know how to tell you, I'll block everybody and put a post for you alone. After that,
I could imagine one of your posts. I love the world yesterday, but not today.
People do that. A lot
So-
of women do that. Sometimes it's just for the man to wake up. You know, there's something I saw on IG. When you're in problems with your woman, she starts to post these songs.
Yeah.
Right? And they would post a list of songs, and all the songs relate to a relationship. And it's true.
True.
Women do that.
Subliminal messages, but
Yes,
you
that's
see,
what
we
it's
do not
called.
speak woman. So when we see it, we just think maybe she in a mood, guys, or maybe she
You
a
know
little face.
instantly, based on whatever argument that you guys have had, you will know, hey, this is for me.
But here
Right
that
there and then,
what
you know
what
it's
if
for you.
there's no situation and she just remembers some shit and she's like, you know what? That's why I just feel like I go put because
You know-
sometimes
you
women do
know,
that
you,
too.
You'd be there like, boy, that girl still on that.
That's
You
true.
know it's
The
for
masters
you.
of
You know
put
it,
yourself
you
up
know
in
it,
a
you
bad
know
mood.
it.
And I always tell people that
Honestly.
some of the toughest people that you will ever get are people who fight their demons and their battles by themselves. Because once you find a man or woman who not only can take care of themselves physically, but emotionally they have peace, spiritually they have peace, especially when we go and find people with emotional intelligence. Brother, they will kick you out faster than
Let
you
me tell
came
you,
in. From the
you
minute that you
see-
do strike one, gone.
What you're saying there, when you have a man who feels that he's able of doing everything by himself, and I know some of these men, they live alone, they do everything by themselves, and probably they just have a woman to comfort them. They would feel like, I don't need your stress. Honestly, I don't need your stress. You just here. But the minute you want to really stress me out, I'm just going to say goodbye. I don't need you because I'm able to do everything, every single thing by myself. I only need you to comfort me. And if you want to come to me for a whole bag of stress, what the hell I need you?
Exactly.
True.
I think that the concept of reality that we have is the fact that we always believe that we need somebody. And the fact is that when we feel like there's a difference between being alone and being lonely. And most people, when they feel lonely, they want to come with somebody, but sometimes that person is not a good person, or we all know as a toxic ex. And when some people need to move on,
Toxic ex. I like that.
you understand? When we need to move on from that person, we find any excuse to go back to, oh, the sex was good. Oh, that's the only person I've been with for so many years. And he came back, give me another chance. But the reality of the situation is, if the same way God can test you, the same way the devil can too.
Let me tell you, a toxic ex will always be a toxic ex, right? If you know, you know, and I shouldn't say that. Some men, some women, even if you break up, they find a way to keep you tied onto a relationship. Alright? If you're done with somebody, you don't give them current. Okay, I'm not saying that you hate that person or you just let them go. But you said boundaries, and I'll get back to that word, boundaries. That is why people have exes, and when they get back into another relationship, they have problems. An ex should be an ex. Don't tell me we're in a relationship and we have a problem and the first person you're going to run to is your ex.
Just not to cut you short,
wow.
there's this thing going around on Facebook, right? You can block me when now that we've broken up, but you couldn't block your ex when we were together. And that
It means that this person still had affiliation with
Yeah,
that person.
yeah.
It's either they still speak to them, they still sleep with them. And that's the only way an ex, if you're in a relationship with somebody, an ex is going to send himself up and say, you know what, this is my man. And this is, because this man still has affiliations with this woman. Even if they have history, they have a child, you set boundaries because you know you're in something new. You're in something that you want to work. If you didn't want to let go of your ex, why the hell is he or she an ex?
Yeah.
You
Honestly.
should have stayed and made it work.
Why?
And I feel like the fact that now with so much happening and we have access, because brother, let me say something here. We have, social media has given access to the world. And the fact that, like I said in a previous episode, you have vanishing moons, you have all of these other things. It's so easy to be in contact with people that you're not supposed to be in contact. That's why people have such anxiety when it comes to relationships. Because when people tell you, you have to stop talking to this man, you have to stop talking to that girl. We watch people like, you're not going to tell me who I can and cannot stop talking to. But if you ask some people about the history of what they went through, then you can understand that. But again, we do not like communication,
And I will tell you
conversation.
something, you cannot tell a grown-ass woman or man who to speak. But it's true.
So yeah.
If you're in a relationship with somebody, this person needs to know that
Should
I'm
be
in
known.
a
It should be
relationship
known.
and I need to respect my partner. Boundaries. I have a boyfriend, I'm in a relationship, I know how I speak to you, I know how I walk around you. You know, you understand what I'm saying? I'm allowed to speak to whoever I want, but at the end of the day, I need to respect myself and my partner. We also need to understand that women and men perceive things. Because you will have a woman and you will have a friend, and she will see right through that friend. Probably that woman sees you as a friend. You see that woman as a friend, sorry, but that woman doesn't see you as a friend. And your partner will read right through that woman. So if she speaks to you about it, you just for her to feel comfortable, you address it. And it goes the same way for a woman. You will have a male friend and your man will see, based on comments that that person makes, based on the way that person looks at you, based on the advice that person will give you if you're in a relationship and you're having problems with your man. You understand? So then you listen to what your partner is saying. You understand, you respect him because he doesn't feel comfortable. So if you want, again I'll say, if you want that relationship to work, you do what you have to do to make it work. You set boundaries. You say, you know what? Yes, we are friends. I appreciate our relationship. But if it's going to cause problems in my relationship, I'm going to have to distance myself from you a bit. You need to stop this. You can't be calling me at 11 o'clock and I'm in bed with my boyfriend. Okay?
6 o'clock.
Wait.
6 o'clock.
If there's a problem, I mean, if you're in an accident or something, fine. But you can't be calling me so late just because you want to talk because you know I'm in a relationship. If there's an emergency, fine. And that's setting boundaries and that's respecting your partner and that comes with maturity.
A lot of people actually don't understand that, you know. Way more people than I think should.
A lot of people don't understand it. They don't. I guess they will have to go through it
Yeah, experience.
to understand. And it has a lot to do with your peers, the people who are around you.
The people who are advising you.
Yes, because
The single
Because
friends.
you
That's
cannot have toxic people advising you on a mature relationship.
it will
Exactly.
never
Because
work.
some of us don't want to admit it, but we have some people in our group that are some snakes, that are some rats, that are some roaches,
Some people
and whether
don't
we should be using pesticide, we're using crumbs and things to feed them the soaps that they need for them to thrive, rather than we tell them, yo, you cannot be advising when you're doing your whorish ways, when you're doing your shit too. You cannot be advising me on a mature marriage level relationship and you for the streets. That ain't gonna work out.
You married, you want to take advice from a single woman. You married, you want to do what a single woman does.
It's
It
even-
cannot, you married, you want to dress like a single
woman, yeah.
Not everybody is ready,
Ready
for
for
a
it.
relationship, yo. You have to, not everybody is ready for marriage. You cannot turn any woman into a wife. And sometimes you have to go way back and look at their family history. You have to look at that woman's mother or her grandmother, and it tells you a lot, you know.
Wow.
It does.
That's why
How
they
she
say
was
love is
raised,
blind, eh?
Her background.
Because we don't want to see people for who they are. We want to see them for what we think they can be. But the truth of the matter is some people are wearing some mask, and those masks have a lot of layers. And we think when we pull one layer off, that's the face. Nah, man, we gotta go way back.
And sometimes all the red flags in front of you, and you believe that he or she will change. My brother, you cannot change an adult.
Yeah.
That's not a 3-year-old. My son is free. You know, there are certain little things in him that I pray to God that he's going to change.
Yeah.
And with time, it can change.
Yeah.
But if he's 21, 19, and he's already stuck in his
It's
ways, you
already
honestly
It's
believe
done.
he wants to change. So you think you could change a 35-year-old woman
Yeah.
or a man? You think you could tell a grown-ass woman what to do, where to go, how to dress? That not going to happen.
well.
No way that's not going to happen.
For me, I always remind people, and I watch a lot of these kind of romantic movies. I like romantic movies and action movies as well. So, a movie I was watching, it's like he's saying you're not the person that your last mistake basically, but you're the person you've always been in the relationship. And I think that a lot of the time, if even in the tough moments, if you're in a relationship and you just remember something like that, it can pull you back. It can get you back on track. Sometimes,
Let
not
me
all the
tell
time.
You see, when you're in a relationship, the fact that you say that, and somebody lies to you once, that's it. Because everything that comes out from that person's mouth,
You
no
ain't gonna
matter
believe it,
what,
huh?
Thanks for figuring me
you're
out.
going to it's a lie.
Thanks, yeah.
Okay, that person could be telling you the truth, but once you make that mistake of lying to somebody, you can never ever go back. And sometimes people lie because people lie sometimes because they're afraid. People lie sometimes because they don't want to lose what they have. But they need to understand that one small white lie is just going to turn into
Yeah.
a bigger lie, because you need to cover up for all the lies that you have already
And we
told.
can never keep track of
And
those lies.
sometimes it's best if you just say the truth, and if you lose it all, you lose it
Yeah.
all. But if that person really cares about you, that the truth, like they say, will set you free, and the person will understand. But if that person cannot understand after you have taken in your all and tell them the truth, that's not the person for you. You just need to let that person go. If you have to lie to a man or woman to keep them, it don't make sense.
Yeah, the fact that you have to start, you have to hide, doesn't that already tell you
Yeah.
that it's
The,
not
the-
right?
the
It's
fact
like
that
the fact
you
you have
need
to hide.
to deceive or do dark things in order to sustain a relationship will already indicate that the relationship is
It's not
non-existent
going to work.
anymore.
It's not going to work because you're trying so hard to make something look bad, but just never work.
You're building with no tools.
Yeah.
And that's the truth. So
No
guys,
foundation.
guys, as we wrap up this episode, any advice you want to give to the people who are looking for the relationships or are in it?
Well, I need some of that, so.
Come to the relationship as you are. Don't pretend to be something that you're not.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you believe that the person likes a Christian.
Yeah.
You're trying your best to be a Christian, and you know you can't be a Christian.
Oh,
Or celebrate
It's not,
events
it's not in you.
Whoa!
the person wants a lawyer, you're trying your best, that's not your forte. Stick to your forte.
Since when that's
Stick-
your role.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Stick to the type of person that you are, because at the end of the day, you are already starting the relationship on a lie.
Yes,
You're not
sure.
a nurse, don't tell the man you're a nurse, and because pretty soon you'll find out you're never a nurse.
When you need to rub him now, you don't know how to start rubbing.
And
Just be you.
that's the truth. We
We
need
all have
to
somebody for us.
we need to start being honest with ourselves. We need to start telling the truth. We need to start being authentic. If somebody does not like you for who you are, who gives a damn? Go about your life. Keep living life, keep doing what you want to do. So my advice to the young people, to the people of this generation, stop being fake. be real.
Yeah.
If they don't like you for being real, then guess what? Energies. Everybody operates on a different energy. Sometimes it doesn't work out. Not because you're a bad person. It's just that's how the energy of the universe works.
Yep.
But truly, we want to thank you for staying tuned. Thank you for being part of the broadcast. We have another episode coming next month, which is going to be thrilling for our religious episode. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter at Harrow Studios. And if you're interested in sponsoring or just being part or helping out with production, message us at harrowstudios758@gmail.com. Team, thank you once again. I don't know if you want to do shout outs on your social media to give the audience a chance to talk to you all.
I just built mine, so I'm not sure. Let's make it happen. So I'm together with Harrow on this journey. We're gonna be doing this. We're gonna be trying. We're gonna be keeping on putting out content, making sure you guys are updated. So you can follow me on the Grit Apple. That's on Instagram. You can follow me on there. I'm gonna keep everything real, everything positive, and you're gonna be seeing a lot of us and a lot of me as well.
The legendary Spud.
We're going to be keeping it 100% with you guys. We're not going to be sugarcoating anything. We believe that there is a lot to learn as much as there's a lot that we are unfolding. So just stay tuned. You know already. I have a YouTube channel, Spud Monsters on YouTube. You could follow it as well. And yeah, that's it for me.
Jazzy.
As for me, my IP needs to be updated. It's Macrina Jazzy. If you guys have any questions, you could send them on here. If there's anything that you guys want us to touch on, talk about, your shout outs, just send it in there and we're gonna reach out.
Awesome. And you can follow me at official_Harrow on Instagram and Joshua Harrow on Facebook. Make sure you can send us anonymous messages if you have issues in your relationship. We can talk about it. We can address any issues on the show. We can make it interesting. But follow us. We're not just talking controversial. We're talking facts. We're talking logic. All the things you won't find on other media houses, you know, locally and regionally, internationally. So stay tuned with us at Harrow Studios. We have 8 shows coming for you, and this is just the first of 8. So it's gonna be a vibe. It's gonna be fun. I am Joshua Harrow, and we'll see you next time.